Is this about Georgia's gun laws, or is it about something else? How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about a very popular music festival out there in Atlanta, Georgia, called Music Midtown, that has been canceled this year, and I guess into the foreseeable future. It might be canceled forever. And a lot of festivals, concerts, or whatever like this that are being held on public property, in this case, Piedmont Park, they may also be in jeopardy. Why? Well, there's a few rumors floating around. There's not been anything concrete that said, but the finger is largely being pointed at Georgia's new constitutional carry gun law. So you can carry your weapon without having a license, and you can carry it in a place like Piedmont Park, which is public. Georgia cannot ban guns from Piedmont Park. Therefore, Music Midtown cannot ban guns from Piedmont Park. So they don't want to have the concert there because some of the music artists say, we don't want to perform in the area where there's guns. So that's kind of what's going on here. But the gun issue may not actually be the issue. And before I go any further, let's roll the clip. If you want to see this full clip without my commentary, the link, as always, will be in the description box. But I'll play it right here. And after we get done with that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what was said there. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents and my deep, detailed analysis. And then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
To Atlanta. Today, CBS 46 learned there will not be a Midtown Music Festival in Piedmont Park this year. Atlanta's own Future and 2 Chainz were among the musicians set to perform.
The event organizers say the cancellation is due to circumstances beyond their control, is how they've put it. CBS 46 has live team coverage on this, and we begin at Piedmont Park with Adam Murphy. And Adam, Georgia's gun laws may have had something to do with today's news, right?
Well, they certainly have, and the rumblings started on Friday online that many people thought this event might be canceled. It's been going on for many years, a very popular one here at Piedmont Park, but many people are believing that it's due to a provision in Georgia's gun law. As a result, we have reached out to Music Midtown as well as Live Nation, but they are not elaborating on their decision. Music Midtown organizers told supporters they canceled next month's event due to circumstances beyond their control.
As far as I know, it could be poor ticket sales or something, but I know there are rumors that it's because of the gun issue.
Gun rights attorney John Monroe believes they called off the event due to provisions in Georgia's gun law that would not allow organizers to ban firearms in Piedmont Park.
Maybe they weren't aware of the law or nobody raised it before, but it has been the law for several years that entities like Live Nation that are leasing public property can't ban weapons.
In 2019, the Georgia Supreme Court set new rules on what types of businesses could ban guns on public property. The bottom line, entities with long-term leases, known as estate for the years, could legally ban firearms, while businesses with short-term leases that are not paying property taxes could not.
It's a bit of a two-edged sword. If you want to be able to ban guns, then you got to pay taxes. If you don't want to pay taxes, then you can't ban guns.
News of the cancellation spread quickly. Atlanta City Council President Doug Shipman posted this comment on Twitter saying, quote, "A sad day as Atlanta's Music Midtown is canceled. Public policy has real impacts, and in this case, economic and social implications on a great tradition." And at the state level, Governor Brian Kemp had no comment on a matter which his office said was litigated between 2 private parties.
The city of Atlanta cannot ban guns at Piedmont Park, so somebody like Live Nation that leases the park for a weekend festival also cannot ban guns.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, there's a lot to kind of break down here. The elephant in the room for me is this may not be about the Georgia gun laws. It could be about declining music sales because you got the monkeypox scare. People scared to go outside. I'm seeing the uptick in mask wearing. Now, maybe it's not about the ticket sales because you got some pretty big name artists. You got Future 2 Chainz and some other rock groups. You have some really big acts coming to this particular thing, but the ticket sales could be a factor. The second thing is Music Midtown could be part of a protest. And here's what I'm talking about. Let's back up a little bit to, what was that, last year or the year before that, when the MLB Major League Baseball All-Star game was scheduled to be held at the Brave Stadium, right there at Marietta, Smyrna, etc. They were going to have the All-Star game right there, but then I think Georgia passed a law talking about the transgender issue in the bathrooms or something like that. I'm kind of foggy right now, but if y'all remember, y'all let me know in the comments below. No, matter of fact, it wasn't a trans issue. It was the voting. So they passed laws to strengthen access to voting for people and to make it more secure. But they saw it as laws that prevented people from being able to vote. Like it was a thing that would target minorities or whatever. Long story short, they moved the baseball game from Georgia to Colorado. And Colorado had stricter laws on the books when it comes to voting, which was crazy. But it wasn't even about Colorado's laws. It was about Georgia passing certain laws and then them getting on a train to protest against Georgia. That's really what it was about. And I think it's a similar thing that could be going on here. Now, could I be wrong? Of course. This is just my humble opinion. I think they don't like Georgia's new gun laws where you can carry a weapon with no license. And by the way, to talk about that right quick, there are still some restrictions to guns in Georgia. Like, what they say, common sense restrictions. First of all, you got to be able to buy your gun legally. That's, if you are a prohibited possessor, that's going to be you regardless. How can they really tell if you are a prohibited possessor, if you have a license or what? If you have a concealed weapon on you, how does anybody know that you are able to have it, that you bought it legally? The criminals are out here all day long with concealed weapons. You got these 14-year-olds with fully automatic Glocks and they fanny packs out there trying to sell you quote unquote water in Atlanta streets, right there on Boulevard, Cascade, or whatever. So if they're carrying it and there's not much really being done, then why can't you carry your gun? The criminals have the upper hand, but the normies don't have the upper hand. So the law just gave the regular normie the upper hand, the same as a criminal has. So you're on an even playing field, but I'm getting way too deep into the rabbit hole. So let me get out of there and digress. The whole point is that the law is not what a lot of people think that it is. All right. You still have to buy your gun legally. And if you could not get a license from the state, you could not also have a concealed weapon. Prime example, convicted felon, under the age of 21, unless you're in the military, things like that. All right. So there are still some restrictions, but there's a protest against the law. So I think Music Midtown canceled itself because of the protests and maybe because of some of the artists, writers. But here's the next part, though. You see, just because you cannot have Music Midtown in Piedmont Park because it's public property does not mean you cannot have it somewhere else in a similar venue. You can go to an amphitheater that's privately owned because there's other events happening, other music events happening in Atlanta, just not at Piedmont Park in Midtown. You go to an amphitheater, you go somewhere else. Maybe they don't want to spend their money. That goes back to the whole ticket sales thing. Do you have enough money to be able to move the event to somewhere else? They do that all the time. Okay, I know it's called Music Midtown, but you can have Music Buckhead or Music Cobb County. You could do something. You could still have the same event, the same following. You got an Instagram with like 100,000 followers or whatever. Take those same people and go 10 miles away and you'll be just fine. You spend a little bit more money, yeah, but you still have the event. This is what I'm talking about. I think it's a protest more than anything else. And I think some other festivals may do the same thing. I think maybe, and again, my opinion, maybe they threaten the city with pulling out if they didn't do something with the gun laws. But ultimately, it's nothing that can be done because Fulton County, Atlanta, Cobb, they can't do anything because it's a state issue. So what are you going to do? Maybe you get into a different kind of lease, pay some taxes. Like at the end of the day, I think the bottom line is they would need to come up with some more money. Either to start paying taxes on a different kind of lease to get Piedmont Park on like a long-term lease, which you don't want to do because it's like a short festival, or go to an amphitheater, an arena, a stadium, somewhere like that where it's private property. You can still have the outdoor element, but it's enclosed and you're able to enforce your anti-gun thing. Because again, the new gun laws do not come without any like they're not totally free of or free from restrictions. If you have, like, let's say, example, you have a nightclub, you can still say no guns in the club. It's your private property. You can do that. But if you want to host some kind of ping pong tournament outside at a park, you can't have some dude in front of a velvet rope and some grass talking about you can't come past this rope if you have a gun on you. That's not how that works. We're in the public space. So you couldn't do that. So figure out a way to fix it. Maybe they don't want to fix it. Maybe there's some kind of effort to punish Georgia for their laws. And if some are going to say, well, they're going to lose money like that, wouldn't they? Because if they don't have the event, they lose out on a bunch of money. Well, we know how these things operate when it comes to political stuff. They get money from the outside, so they're able to weather the storm. That's just my opinion on it. But the facts are that the laws were cited, although that's not been the exact reason that's been given. Okay, that's not been the exact reason. So all we can do is speculate. Some are going to say that I'm wrong. Some are going to say that I'm right. But all that we have is our speculation. All we know is that there are certain facts. There are certain things that could be the reason. But the ultimate reason, are we ever going to find out? Who knows? But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What do you think is the reason why Music Midtown got canceled? Is it because of the new gun laws? Is it because like a ticket sales, not enough money to move the actual venue? Because you can do that. You can go from the park to an amphitheater, from public spaces to a private space, and you can enforce your gun-free zone that way. So why didn't they do that? I mean, this has been known that the laws were in effect for a while. They were cooking for a while. And apparently there was already a law where they said you can't ban guns in certain places anyway. So why wasn't this thought of before? Why wait until just right now? And why is it that there's been no official reason given, as far as I know? And if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But you guys know where I'm at. I pretty much laid it out for you. I think Georgia's laws are fantastic. They're great because the criminals don't care about laws. They're going to carry their guns regardless. They're going to have concealed carry. I see some of these young boys open carrying, got 15 years old, open carrying. They don't care. The police cannot be everywhere. So you as a regular citizen, as a normie, as a civilian, as just, regular Joe or Jill, what are you going to do to protect yourself against a criminal element who do not care about the laws that you follow? Whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.